they'll have one more chance, and then maybe one more chance, and then maybe one more chance, and they have to use all of these 3 chances to ever hope for a victory in the tournament. In the meantime, we've got the lobby key. That is Passage of Augustus, much more open one than Capua, so that Slinger Peak is going to be, well, stronger on this map, I imagine. Although, despite Zeus not having slings as a predetermined pick, they'll still opted for it in both of the battles. So SUNTZU obviously still locked into those slingers. Zeus, well, I imagine they'll most likely pick the slingers again, especially since that has been working out for them really, really well. And we see Koyusuke being brought back. Just still selecting that multi-eyed spearman, but that may obviously change. SUNTZU spying on the other team, hoping that the SUNTZU being written incorrectly, spelled incorrectly, he's going to merge in, not be noticed. There are memes like that, like day 56. They still haven't noticed something's wrong.
From the amount of damage he's been pouring out, maybe taking some Sons of Zeus's javelins away would be quite handy.
Yep, Sons of Zeus managed to, well, make their javelin factor way more than SUNTZU has ever been able to. Especially as SUNTZU had javelin advantage in the last battle. It was, I think, 5 or 6 javelins versus only 3.
5 versus 3, yeah. But they just seemed mispositioned. They weren't near the front lines when the battle started. And obviously with their short range, that's kind of where they need to be.
Someone in the chat. Like rises. Yep. About knowing the result of the match. But yeah, I see the point at which the battle is, and yeah, it was pretty much decided. Once Sons of Zeus breached into the city, managed to get a cavalry in there, and their elephants through, and while the slingers and javelins were on the run, that was over. Smork? Come on.
Face is the place. So about half of me is hoping for a reverse sweep for better viewing and a
Only half?
more exciting tournament, but the other half of me is kind of hoping for a 3-0 because I'm really hungry.
Should have eaten before.
But it was too early to eat before.
Yeah, I kinda also only ate breakfast. But I'm feeding, well, right now, on embarrassment. Is there a saying like that in English?
What? Feeding on embarrassment?
Yeah, or eating embarrassment or something like that. We have something like that in Polish.
Not really. Unless I'm being stupid.
Well, it's a pretty well-known idiom in Polish.
I mean, there's an idiom of eating your own words after being very confident of something and then it not happening.
I definitely didn't call out any 3-0 sweep by SUNTZU. Maybe I should have. Then I wouldn't be hungry.
Maybe.
Now that made me think about tournament rules and the progression we have made. So the first SUNTZU Invitational 1 was max 1 light artillery player, max 1 getaway elephants. This max 1 light artillery player, max 1 pike player, and I believe no cannon pikes. There's like no cannon pikes on SUNTZU Open 1 as well. And it was Invitational 2, so it was like, well, yeah, it's a for fun tournament, so might as well allow cannon pikes. But also elephants were banned in Open 1, not banned, but restricted to 1 player max. Yep. At least one thing that this tournament proves is that elephants truly OP. Although, well, you can counter that argument with both teams sprung to elephants.
I mean,
but you can see how much of a factor they play.
It does definitely prove one fact, and I'm pretty sure this is a fact that all of our viewers will know already.
Over ear.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh, come on.
I was going to say Total War Arena is a much more enjoyable game without heavy artillery.
Oh yeah, oh, that definitely. Speaking of which, I visited Reddit yesterday, and like 4 out of 5 top threads were complaining about artillery. I was like, that is proud. I would consider myself the father of all artillery complaints in wargaming version, since I was complaining ever since the very first alpha weekend. Well, that was one day, I guess, back then. Like, no, what do you want from artillery? It's fucking broken. No, it's not. Also, a history lesson, since we are waiting for them to pick their picks. Yeah, after the Steam version ended, the forum was kept alive for like 2 more months or so. And they're also supposed to come back after 2 months. They didn't. Yeah, and there was an artillery feedback thread, and one of the back then Praetorians suggested that change to artillery. They're like, hey, let's make artillery mobile because noobs can't play artillery. And that's why let's make it look friendly. And I was, well, if you do that, if you give artillery that kind of mobility, it will be completely broken. I'm like, no, what are you saying? It's definitely not. Definitely, it's not going to be broken. Until, well, 2 years later, I'm still waiting to be corrected on that one. I mean, developers are surely agreeing with the other guy rather than me, it seems. Well, that's just my regular portion of salt about artillery existing in the game, or rather in such a state. And my feedback not being listened to because other Praetorian feedback was actually, well, tried by the developers for 2 years now. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad.
Yep. Although I have some other designs that are in the game that were done according to my feedback. So all of you who friendly fire and see actual damage numbers that you dealt by friendly fire, that's me.
Are you telling me you're the father of crits?
Yep. I was like, the only thing I can see when I friendly fire someone is just a huge friendly fire text appearing over a unit. It's like, that doesn't tell me anything apart from that I'm doing friendly fire. I need to know what kind of damage I'm doing to the enemy, which I know, but I don't know what damage I'm dealing to the allies. So I need those 2 numbers to compare, so I need to know if that friendly fire is good or not. Then they did it.
Friendly fire is good though.
Yeah, obviously. And then they did it, but they made the numbers blue. I was like, you were supposed to make them orange. Why didn't you make them orange? Or yellow, or whatever. It's like, make them a different color from the regular damage. And they finally did it. This is like, I already laid out how friendly fire should look like in my very first thread, and then they implemented that feedback like over 3 different patches. Which is kind of weird. Oh, I've got some good feedback. Bliax is saying in my chat, good job with the camera, you're on spot in every battle. I believe I missed some action in the previous battle, but it was like so fucking all over the place. It's really hard to keep up with everything that's happening, especially if a battle is as huge as 8v8. So I think I've missed some of the engagements, but hopefully I'm keeping up. But I'm like running with my camera all over the place because, well, I want to get closer to as many separate actions as possible to give each of them a highlight of what's happening. Speaking of which, I like that Oju Moxie duel with Pelasgus, where he took 2 unnecessary shots in the back. Like that also swing the battle kinda in the other side. But just the fact that elephants were able to make it so deeply into SUNTZU's territory before javelins ever got close to them, especially considering that they could have put 2 or 3 javelins onto elephants and still have 2 or 3 javelins in the front line, while the other team could have only have 3 javelins somewhere. Yeah, they could have utilized it better. Just 1-to-1 cavalry players, I think, so it wasn't an advantage over to Zeus, which is their cavalry was much more maneuverable. And it was down to what you said, is about picking those engagements.
Indeed.
While that cavalry becoming additional frontline for SUNTZU if they ever needed it in the shape of Scipio cavalry. Well, it wasn't really the case. If they ever charge in, they can oath, they can survive for some, but with Javelin presence, all these Atportases and Vengeances and Caesar buffs, even in oath, you are going to disappear pretty quickly.
Yeah. In all video games, pretty much, movement speed is a very, very powerful statistic.
Yep.
The flexibility to do what you want when you want is almost unparalleled in terms.
Also, on Passage of Augustus, that statistic is going to be even more important. And speaking of that cavalry, Pardonon was playing that Roman cavalry last time. Now he's been put onto swords. And Jacob is already a first pick on elephants for SUNTZU to counter Trasominus elephants. Something that SUNTZU has done in every single battle so far. Zeus answering with King Io going to Miltiades. Yeah, it's Antimus that wasn't defaulted pick. Going to triple swords Hannibal and triple pikes on Leonidas, with the default picks of Zeus being Arminius Cav, Milty Spears, Caesar Jabs and triple swords. Yep, if I remember correctly. Now it's time for SUNTZU to pick 2. Let's see, SUNTZU answers back with Arclinon on Javelin. And they still have to pick something on Spanac or Śmierć. Okay, since still thinking about their another pick, and well, they're rightfully taking their time after all they're down 2-0 on a verge of being defeated and eliminated from the tournament. And well, I wouldn't mind it going like down to like 1 AM, because that would mean that we are getting 5 battles. Well, yeah. Kappa bias. Do you see something locked in? Śmierć is changing. Śmierć is going to play cavalry. Well, cavalry is his main, but it will be first time Śmierć is going to play cavalry in this tournament. We'll see how that goes for them. Śmierć definitely like one of the best micro in the game. A lot of that can be seen on his streams. He's absolutely phenomenal with that. Spanats is up there as well. Although Spanats, I think he played only cavalry only once so far in the tournament, in one of the SUNTZU vs SUNTZU NA battles in the semi-final. Do you remember?
Was it the quarterfinal actually? I got a feeling he played it on Rubicon.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
I think Spanats played Germanica Swords on both Rubicons though.
Possibly.
It was cavalry on the semi-final. So while SUNTZU showing off a lot of flexibility, but well, flexibility doesn't really win matches. They need that like special prowess on their units to be able to, well, outclass their equivalents on the other side. As we see both teams going for similar compositions. It's javelins versus javelins, barbed cavalry versus barbed cavalry, elephants versus elephants, pikes versus pikes, although this time on, well, not this time. On SUNTZU it's 2 pikes, 1 spear. Also Koyusuke on back to Military Spearman versus King Aios Military Spearman. Difference is those Hannibal swords that Zeus really believe in. I mean, SUNTZU also really believes in them. And given their flexibility, they could definitely play them. Spanats can definitely pick them. We'll see what he goes for. Maybe he'll play cavalry and they'll play a double cavalry composition. Who knows?
I'm wondering whether Spanats will end up on a mix of swordsman and cavalry. I know he is a big fan of bringing something along the lines of 2 barbarian swords and 1 cavalry on Arminius.
Yep, on Versi. I know Pardonum is a fan of Foxman plus cavalry. I'm really fucking hungry.
So am I.
But I'm hungry for SUNTZU's victory. Kappa?
I'm hungry for pizza. I like pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza as well. I've already eaten one on breakfast. For breakfast.
You ate pizza for breakfast?
Yeah, man. I'm grown up. I can eat whatever I want.
Nice. I didn't eat breakfast. Feels bad, man.
I can even eat ice cream at breakfast if I want. Not going to be very full after that, though.
Depends how much you eat, I guess.
Ooh. Ooh. Look at this. Okay, that changes things. That changes things, definitely.
Spanats reverting back to the old classic of believing in
ranged meta.
The balance of barbarian archers. Although this isn't tier 7, they are not as oppressively powerful at tier 8 as they are at 7.
They have a very impressive range though. And with Jojo back to slingers, they're hoping to maybe put that slinger matchup more in favor of SUNTZU this time, although Pelasgo so far outclassed both Jojo and Ojumoxi, since best players, SUNTZU slinger players, are kind of casting.
It's worth noting that the very, very high penetration damage on the barbarian archers makes them quite efficient at taking down javelins. So maybe this is targeted at...
Well, it's just 20, I think. That's not that high, I would say.
It's higher than that, isn't it? I thought it was like 26 or 27.
Maybe they changed it, there were some nerfs in the meantime.
Possibly.
Well, anyway.
I assume the snipe bug is fixed by now.
What bug again?
So snipe increases your damage, but it was bugged and used to increase penetration damage by the same percentage as well.
This with consumables as well. Well, anyway. We've got possibly what can be the last battle of the tournament. Hopefully not, for me. Yep, still waiting for Pelasgus to load in as teams prepare their strategies, or rather, well, they definitely know what to do. SUNTZU trying to change things up. swapping some players around on the roles. Spartanon back to infantry, Śmierć for the first time on cavalry, his main, Spanac on archers, so going for that range meta meme quite heavily. For the looks of it, they're going to their left flank with Śmierć just scouting the other side. And we'll see, they have the range advantage, but not long range advantage. Long range advantage, well, that's equal.
Oh shit, where am I meant to hide?
In a forest.
I did not check.
Well, I could ping it to you, but kind of we are in different teams.
Let's see. I have alt-tabbed and found where I need to go.
That's an important part.
Why can I not issue move orders?
Śmierć finding 4 players of Zeus by getting that watchtower, so it looks like their teams are mirroring each other. Although by capturing that watchtower there's a threat of being caught by First Blood if Pelasgus is anywhere near. Śmierć and Chidox will probably look for some charges against each other. I wonder if they will fancy their chances. Śmierć may caught one Chidox. Oh, that's just infiltration. I just got full by infiltration. It's not that.
Oh, never mind.
We need a redo? Never mind.
No,
okay.
No. There were complaints of CPU lag from Pella, but it seems to be fixed now.
Well, Koyuska had also those. Didn't complain. Yeah, those slingers are getting dangerous close, so Śmierć will have to get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, slingers are shooting on Chidok, that was scouting out the other part of the team. The first blood. There we go.
From SUNTZU, so they're going to be able to pour in the base.
Yeah, looks like the same is happening on the side of SUNTZU.
Yeah, it just seems both teams have run straight for the base and missed each other on the way past.
Yeah, Adhocracy is coming there with his spikes, hoping to stop SUNTZU in track. I was going to make it there, but he's
more out
going
of
to
position than Stroyakers, so
yeah,
he is in danger of getting flanked and routed.
This side is advantageous to SUNTZU though, because they can send reinforcements to either base much quicker than Zeus can due to this disbalance of this map. That's why we're playing 2 battles on this map. I mean, if it is not 3-0.
Because of that fact, it looks like Sons of Zeus were very happy to just pull back early and make sure their base is defended.
Yeah. SUNTZU will have difficulties finding his way to defend his base. Spanac positioning himself over the enemy base, looking to find some shots from above. Jojo looking to engage into a slinger battle against Pelasgus, using those raised shields. Pelasgus is
got some cavalry going around to hunt Spanac, but Quo appears to be there to protect him.
Autocracy is going to pressure with his spikes, slinger position, which costed Pardonom, well, being eaten by pike phalanx. They don't have javelin close to handle that. Javelin now are being occupied by elephants that are chasing them.
Pardonom held the pikes in place so Stroyak could get a rear charge. Can they rout them? Maybe not, because Leonidas is rather hard to rout with hold the line active. Yeah,
Stroyak is going to be fucked though, nonetheless, by just damage. Jacob now finding to kill Trazomenu's elephants. He found himself a very good position now. Although Jonah making it over there.
Moving into pour fire onto Held SUNTZU in the base.
Yeah, Arkinon is also out of position tremendously.
Chai finds a massive charge into the rear of Jojo. Slipped right past Koreska.
Yeah. Antimos is also charging in from behind, routing one of Span's unit. Koiska needs to answer that. I think, yeah, he is answering that, but one of the Span's units were routed. They're trying to find some damage onto Hell SUNTZU, but all their range units are now just bogged down in that very one small area.
And meanwhile, all the SUNTZU slingers appear to be basically dead or tied up in combat, so Pelasgus is just sitting at maximum range, being entirely unanswered.
Yeah, he's just firing into that huge blob, fighting huge damage. He killed Jojo, now he's onto Spanac. Yep, high arcs are easy to dodge. Spanac is also targeting Hell SUNTZU. Well, he's taking some damage, because that's no ray shields. But, well, that was very swiftly over.
The infantry lines, it just means Spanac can't push forward to contest these slingers.
Yep, too much of a range meta meme. Spanac believing that range meta meme not paying off again, to surprise of, well, I guess. But SUNTZU trying to protect whatever they have in the middle of that formation, but that formation is crumbling, both from inside by Pelasgus' reshots into front lines, of SUNTZU, and all just infantry just moving over all this infantry. And as a sad music plays, SUNTZU dies in this tournament. Schmierch looking for some redemption, maybe finding a charge into Pelasgus, being stopped by Assassin. Huge damage! Holy crap!
Wow.
Are those Heartbringers dressed up as Tier 8? What the hell happened there? He could have gone for SUNTZU Javelin, but well, that won't turn the battle in their favor. The battle is pretty much over, with Stroik making his way over to the main Zeus force just to be killed faster, I guess, and get it over with. As some famous line from a Polish movie says, I don't know how to say it into English, it's like old Polish. Like, and sir, spare me some embarrassment. But that would be 3-0 swift sweep of Sons of Zeus over SUNTZU. Sons of Zeus going undefeated in the entire tournament. SUNTZU also went undefeated into this battle, but in the end, crumbling between the pressure provided by excellent Zeus players. The elephants were always on top of the right targets. SUNTZU providing huge amounts of damage with his Javelin. Pelasgus outclassing every single opponent he faced with his slingers. So, well, that is the conclusion of SUNTZU Open 2 tournament that we have pleasure to host for you.
Is Falco gonna get a minor bit of revenge onto SUNTZU? Looks like he might.
A very impressive charge. That's a lot of damage, Kappa. Artemis now closing in, surrounding Faustgod, and he's getting nuked just by melee damage alone.
Cavalry underpowered. Look at this.
Yeah, please buff. Range meta is real.
Yeah. Tier 1 cavalry needs to be able to beat these Tier 8 spears in melee.
Yeah, at least they should have be able to deal some damage to these range units. Range units definitely OP. Some people are going to kill me for that statement. And Sons of Zeus is looking to finish the tournament with a cap. Well, they can definitely drink from a cap tonight, celebrating the victory as they have very well earned, defeating such teams as Victis in the round of 16, then the Rebel Alliance in the quarterfinals, SUNTZU United in the semi-final, and then finally the main SUNTZU team in the grand final. When undefeated against all these teams, and they have proven that no one can stop them.
They displayed excellent strategic planning and coordination. It was clear they had a plan, but their execution just seemed very well rehearsed every game.
They definitely clearly identified a victory condition. They just went for it and executed it pretty much flawlessly. So yeah, kudos to Sons of Zeus. Guess I should update the bracket, but everyone knows what happened.
Well played to everyone that participated in the tournament.
Yep.
Also,
this was a great one-day event to be hosting for you guys, and well, SUNTZU Invitational 3 is going to happen on 8th and 9th of December, most likely on that weekend in general. Either 2-week event, 2-day event, or 1-day event. We'll see. Definitely looking forward to that. SUNTZU Invitational are relaxed tournaments where there's like not that much on a stake, and it's just about people celebrating the joy that is competitive arena.
And memeing. Don't forget about the meme team. Right, do we have any interviews or anything we need to do to round the tournament out, or is it time for pizza?
I think it's time for pizza.
That is some news that I'm happy to hear. Well, thank you all to everyone that is watching, and I hope you tune in for the next tournament.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching. And I hope to see you on, well, my streams, both the regular one and especially the SUNTZU Invitational 3. We're going to look how that will go. Because that's still unknown. The plans are there. We'll see if they will be able to be realized. So, until then, I've been Nishu, joined by Mongoose, and we'll see you there.